This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, Rabbi Glatstein. I'm going to have Shabbos, Parshas Vayishlach. The Torah tells us in the beginning of the Parsha, Vayira Yaakov ma'od vayetzer lo. Yaakov was very afraid. Vayetzer lo, he was distressed. Zok Rashi, what was he afraid about? What was he distressed about? Says Rashi, Vayira Shema Yeharek. He was afraid he may get killed. That's something to be scared of. Vayetzer lo, he was distressed. You know what he was distressed over? Im yaroik huas Acheirim. He was afraid he may kill other people. So in other words, he's afraid he may get killed. He's distressed he may have to come to kill somebody.
But he was promised to be the problem.
Good question. We're not talking about that. Fine. So says the Gur Aryeh, that we discussed in a previous show. We're going to talk about Vayetzer Loi. He was distressed at what? Shema Yaharei Kuas Acheirim. He would kill others. The Gur Aryeh wants to know, what do you mean others? It should say who these others are. It should say he was afraid he would kill Esav. In fact, the Gur Aryeh, Lo yadati lama nokat shema yareg Acheirim. I don't understand why the Rashi says maybe he'll kill others. Havalei loymar, it should say shema yareg Esav. He may kill Esav. Well, who are these Acheirim? By the way, it's interesting. I just saw yesterday that the Chida writes in the Shem Agdalim about Rashi that he brings down that Rashi fasted 613 days before he wrote his commentary on the Chumash, and how every word of Rashi is precise and exact. So what does Rashi mean? Lest he kill others. Now, the Mizrahi, the Re'im, Rabbi Yoel Mizrahi writes, look at number 4, that what Yaakov was afraid of was only that he would kill Esav. Why? What's wrong with killing Esav? After all, Esav's coming to kill him. And the halacha is, if someone comes to kill you, Haba lahargacha, hashkem v'harga. If someone's coming to kill you, you kill them first. So the Medrash Tanchuma says that what? He was afraid he would kill Esav, and then Yitzchak would curse him. Yitzchak wouldn't know exactly what the details were. So he was afraid that if what Rashi means, he was afraid that he would kill Esav, and then Yitzchak would curse him. But you know why he was not afraid that he would kill others? This is what the Mizrahi says. Because others, there's a klal. Haba lahargacha, hashkem laharga. If someone comes to kill you, you're allowed to kill them. That we learn from the pasuk in the Machtaras Yimatzei Haganov in Loidamim. That if somebody comes to kill you, you kill them first. So, in other words, we're explaining the Medrash Tanchuma this way. The Medrash Tanchuma learns different than Rashi. Rashi says he was afraid he would kill others. No. According to the Medrash Tanchuma, he was only afraid if he would kill Esav. The other people, Yaakov wasn't afraid if he would kill, because he had a valid excuse if he would kill them. What was he afraid of? Not he was afraid he was halachically forbidden to kill Esav, but he was afraid if he would kill Esav, Yitzchak would curse him.
What about, didn't Amalek come out of Esav? He was a grandson.
Okay, but...
So doesn't he have Acheirim? I mean,
there's no chiyuv. He's not Amalek yet. The mitzvah is not to kill Amalek's father, it's to kill Amalek. Now, the Re'im asks that why would Yaakov have been allowed to kill these other people, but they had no choice other than to kill Yaakov because Esav was forcing them? So the Re'im says, no. We know the halacha is that even if someone threatens you with your life, you're not allowed to kill somebody else, right? What's the halacha? If somebody says, you kill Pliny or I'll kill you, you have to give up your life not to kill someone. So these cohorts of Esav had no excuse to go along with Esav. Says the Mizrahi, that why would Yaakov have been allowed to kill these other people? And this is not the focus of the share, I just want you to be aware of this. Why would he be allowed to kill these other guys? These people who came along with Esav, maybe they weren't coming to kill Yaakov, maybe they were coming to kill Yaakov's family. Now what's the halacha if you know Ruvain is about to kill Shimon? Are you allowed to kill Ruvain? Yeah.
He's your order.
Not because Habala Hargacha Hashke Mahargai, but rather because of the din of Roidef. Now when it comes to the din of Roidef, you're only allowed to kill Reuven if Reuven's about to kill Shimon, if you have no other way to stop Reuven from killing Shimon. But if you could shoot Reuven in the foot, and you could Yachal Hatziloi be'echad me'evarav, let's say you know Reuven's about to kill Shimon. If you could, slow him down, tie him up, and you don't have to kill him, you're now allowed to kill him. So why would Yaakov have been allowed to kill these guys, but maybe they're not coming to kill him, and in that case, he would only be allowed to slow him down. Which could be exactly what Rashi's saying. He wasn't afraid if he would kill Esav, because Esav he was allowed to kill, because Esav was coming to kill him. But he was afraid of killing Acheirim, because the Acheirim, he didn't know they were coming to kill him. Could be the Acheirim were coming to kill his family, and in that case he wouldn't have halachically been allowed to kill the Acheirim.
We have to read their minds, yes, know who they're intending to kill when they're coming with their guns out.
I did not do justice to that inyan that we just discussed. I just want you to be aware that there's a difference in halacha between someone who comes to kill you and someone who comes to kill others. Someone comes to kill you, you kill them first. Someone who comes to kill others, you try to slow them down.
How do we know Esav was intent on killing him? Maybe he just wanted to sail.
We don't.
He's coming with 400 armed men. Yeah. Now Rabbi Glatstein, I want to offer another explanation for Rashi. Why exactly was Yaakov afraid lest he kill Esav? Again, Esav's coming to kill him. So he would be required to kill Esav. It wouldn't have been an Avera, it would have been the proper thing to do. So Rabbi Shua Leib Diskin says, really an amazing explanation. Says Rabbi Shua Leib Diskin, remember the Nevuah of Rivka Imenu? What was the Nevuah of Rivka Imenu? She said, Lama Eshkal Gam Shenechem Yom Echad. That, run away Yaakov, because why should I lose both of you in one day? Says Rashi, look at number 6 on the next column. Ruach HaKodesh Nizrika ba. A divine spirit was thrown into her. V'nisnaba, and she prophesied Shabiyam Echad Yamusu, that Yaakov and Esau would both die on the same day. Says Rabbi Shua Leib Diskin, you know what Yaakov was afraid of? He wasn't afraid that it would be an Avera for him to kill Esau. He would be required to kill Esau. What he was afraid of is that if he would have to kill Esau, it would bring about his own demise. So it wasn't that he was afraid of the Avera. He was afraid if he would kill Esav, that would mean the end of him. Okay? Rabbi Sai, now we're going to focus on...
Did they die the same day? No.
They did, yeah.
Eventually?
Yeah. Yaakov died, and then when they came to bury Yaakov in the Maras Machpelah, right? Chushim and done. Okay.
Not same day.
Says the Gemara in Gittin. And now we're going to get involved in the main part of the Shiur this morning.
I'm sorry, actually it's like after 30 days he died.
Okay, you're right. But Kavura could be... Yeah.
But not in the same.
Rabbi Sai, but we want to focus on what Rashi means. He was afraid of killing Acheirim. Acheirim? Shnei Esav. Like the Gur Aryeh asked, Shnei Esav. Says the Gemara in Gittin Daf Nun Vav. Shadar ilavei leNiron Kesar. Neron, the Romans sent Neron Kesar to destroy the Beis Hamikdash. Ki Ka'asi, when he came, Shada Gira Lemizrach, he threw an arrow to the east, it fell in Yerushalayim. To the west, it fell to Yerushalayim. The four corners of the heavens fell to Yerushalayim. He said to a child, "Child, what's going to be my outcome in this war against Jerusalem?" So the child said, "God will take revenge against Edom." So he said, Neron Kesar said, "The God wants me to destroy the temple, but he's going to wipe his hands clean with me, and otherwise he's going to kill me." Arak, Neron Kesar fled. The Azal he went. The Agayar he converted. And who came out of Neron Kesar? The Nafak Minei Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir came forth from Neron Kesar. Wonderful story. Does anybody know what Rabbi Meir is called in Shas? The Gemara in Horias Daf Yud Gimel and Beis tells us that Rav Shimon Gamliel was the Nasi, Rav Meir was the Chacham, and Rav Nassan was the Av Bezin. When Rav Shimon Gamliel walked into the room, everyone stood up. When Rav Meir and Rav Nassan came into the room, everyone stood up. Rav Shimon Gamliel said, "I don't understand, I'm the rabbi. They're the assistants. We can't have the same respect. We cannot have the same respect. A shul does not work with assistant rabbi. It doesn't work. It's not going to be successful. There has to be one person in charge. And L'Shem Shamayim, Reb Shimon Gamliel said, I don't like what's going on. And therefore, he made a takana that they should stand up more for the Nasi than for the Av Bezdin and the Chacham. Reb Meir and Reb Nosson weren't there that day that Reb Shimon Gamliel made the takana. Conveniently, Reb Shimon Gamliel made the takana when the two assistants were not there. So Reb Meir and Reb Nosson did not like what was going on. And they said, you know what, let's get him back. Let's do the following. What are we going to do? We're going to ask him to give shiur on Uktzin. And Uktzin is a Masechta, a very difficult Masechta. Reb Shimon Gamliel was not that well versed in Masechta Uktzin. And we're going to tell him, oh, you don't know Uktzin? You know who's allowed to give shiur? Someone who knows Kol HaTorah Kula. But if you don't know Kol HaTorah Kula, stay out of the kitchen. Right?
That's not the Rebbe. How you like to embarrass your Rebbe?
You're not allowed to talk to him, but you can embarrass him.
So they said, you're not worthy to be the Rosh Hashiva. You don't know Uktzin. In the meantime, and Reb Meir said, I'll become the Av Bezdin and you'll become the Nasi. Rabbi Yaakov ben Karshi overheard, and he said, this is not going to be good for Reb Shimon Gamliel. So he went into Reb Shimon Gamliel's house and he started saying over Uktzin the whole night. Reb Shimon Gamliel hears, what's going on over here? Ah, he must be warning me, I better know my Uktzin. The next day, they come to Reb Meir and Reb Nosson come in, and they say, Reb Shimon, you mind giving some shiur on Uktzin today? He said, no problem. He said, no problem. He starts rattling off Uktzin. After he gave shiur on Uktzin, he said like this, had I not learned it last night, you would have embarrassed me. Get out of my beis medrash now. Out. And not only that, now, Reb Meir and Reb Nosson may have known more than Reb Shimon Gamliel. So they were learning in the beis medrash, and they didn't know the answers. So they had to throw letters out the window to Reb Meir and Reb Nosson. Reb Meir and Reb Nosson would respond back from the outside. In the meantime, Rabbi Yossi says, I don't understand, what am I doing inside if the big Talmidei Chacham are outside? So Reb Shimon Gamliel said, you know what, bring them back in. But they knas them. That they never said any halachos over in the name of Reb Meir or Rav Nosson. Whenever a halacha is said in the name of Rav Meir and Shas, Acheirim. Whenever a halacha is said in the name of Rav Nosson, Yeshayim. And even generations later, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi says to his father, Dad, get over it. The machlokes is over. They probably did it l'shem shamayim. But even so, Rebbe, who said they probably did it l'shem shamayim, they would say, he would never say over anything in the name of Reb Meir. Rebbe would always say, Mishum Reb Meir Amru. It was said in the name of Reb Meir, but they would never attribute directly to Reb Meir. Rabbi said, what do we learn from here? That what is Reb Meir called in Shas? Acheirim. Who did Reb Meir come from? Neron Kezar. Who did Neron Kezar come from? Rome. Who did Rome come from? Esav. You know what Yaakov is afraid of? Yaakov is, if I kill Esav, I'm going to be killing Reb Meir. That's what Rashi means. Im yaroi kuas Acheirim. He was afraid he would kill Acheirim. He was afraid he would kill Acheirim. What? No, that's Acher. That's Acher. What does that have to do with Acheirim?
Reb Meir was his Talmud, no?
Very nice. But that's how Rashi doesn't say Shema Yarog Acher. He said Shema Yarog Acheirim. Wow. Thank you. At least somebody could appreciate something good. Thank you. Wow. So, Rabbi Sai, this pshat is brought down in many, many sfarim. It originates in the Sefer Imrei Noyam, which you don't have on the sheet, and in the Sefer Zichron Shmuel, that you don't have on the sheet. But it's also brought down in the Sefer Peninim Yikarim, which you have in number 10. It's brought down in the Pardes Yosef in number 11. It's brought down in Mayana Shel Torah, my great-grandfather's Chavrusa, in Yeshiva Chachma Lublin. It's brought down number 13, Chavatzelas HaSharon. So it's brought down in 6 svarim. That what Rashi means, Shema Yahareg Es Acheirim, you know what? He was not afraid if he's going to kill Esav. Esav's Chayiv Misa. He's afraid he would kill who? Meir. So now here's the question.
But if you kill Esau, you would kill Amalek.
Yeah, but we need Rav Meir. He was afraid he's going to Rav Meir. So Rabbi say, what we need to ask ourselves is that Rav Meir was not always called Rav Meir. What was Rav Meir called? Sometimes he was called Rav Meir, but he wasn't always called Acheirim either. So in the beginning of his career, Rav Meir is called Rav Meir. At the end of his life, he's called Acheirim. So why doesn't Rashi just say explicitly, Vayetzalai Shema Yehareg Rabbi Meir? Why refer to Rav Meir as Acheirim, the name that Rav Meir was punished with? Why is Rashi, fine, you want to allude to Rav Meir? Fine, no problem. But why call him Acheirim? Call him Rav Meir.
Here now in Rashi, it would give Asa kind of a little cover maybe he didn't deserve. Was
Esav learning Rashi? Esav was learning Rashi on Chumash. So this is the question raised in the Shulei Pinchas number 14, Tzarech Bir. Madua Ramaz Rashi Kana Rav Meir B'Torah Acheirim. Why is Rav Meir alluded to in his title Acheirim Shenikra Kain Rak B'Soif Yamav V'Loi V'Shmai Rav Meir, and not in his name Rav Meir K'fi Shenikra Roi. Most of his life he's called Rav Meir. Why is Rashi referring to him as Acheirim? Says the Shlach Kadosh, B'chlal, what is Yaakov so scared of? Yaakov is a perfect tzaddik. Did Yaakov ever do anything wrong that he would be afraid that Esav would kill him? Says the Shlach Kadosh, yeah, Yaakov was afraid of something. You know what he's afraid of? There's one thing wrong that Yaakov was afraid of. He married two sisters. And that act of marrying two sisters haunted Yaakov Avinu. And it haunted him, and he said, you know what? Maybe now's the time the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to allow Esav to punish me. Look at number 15.
What was wrong with it? It was perfectly okay at the time.
One second. Vayira, look on the fourth line. So, excuse me. Hatzleinu miyad achi, lamala miyad Esav lamata. Ki yari anach hazmanos yaveh v'kani ema abanim kfar perash ema vayira mnei achet v'katre sama kein amar kana ani yare sheyekatreg machmas lekichas shnei achar. Yaakov Avinu was afraid because he married two sisters.
He was forced to marry two sisters.
Whatever it is, he did an Avera.
Why wasn't it wasn't an Avera?
In fact, if you look, one of the earliest commentators on the Medrash Rabbah is the Yefei Tayar. And look at number 18. Look at number 18. The Yefei Tayar asks, how was Yaakov allowed to marry two sisters? Though the opinion that holds that a guy is not allowed to marry Arayos, how could Yaakov marry two sisters? Now, by the way, does anybody know where does it say in the Torah that Goyim can't marry two sisters? So Rabbi Shaya asked me about 3.5 years ago. See if you remember this. In Parshas Acheirim, why does it say ish ish? Why does it say ish ish? Why double lashon ish ish? Look at number 17. Says the Gemara in Sanhedrin. Ish ish leRabbi says hakusim shemuzharin al arayos b'Yisrael. Ish tells me not only Jews can't marry arayos, goyim can't marry arayos. That's what you do with the ish ish. That goyim can't marry arayos. So ask the Yefei Tayar. So Yaakov, there are no Jews yet. So if he was a Jew, he certainly can't marry two sisters. But even if he was a guy, how can he marry two sisters? Ish ish.
Torah wasn't given yet.
Outside of that, the kusim didn't exist yet because you don't.
No, kutim is just any guy. So says the Yefei Tayar, and the Marsha gives the same answer. That Yaakov Avinu was a Yid.
He didn't know he was married to Rachel. It was Leah who loved him or someone.
He married Leah, yeah?
Rachel
Yeah, he didn't know.
When he woke up in the morning, V'hinei Leah, right? He knew it was Leah? How did he marry Rachel exactly? Can't marry two sisters.
Maybe give Leah a get.
Right? Says Yefei Tayar, Rachel and Leah though were Goyim. Yaakov was a Yid, Rachel and Leah were Goyim. When Yaakov married them, he converted them. So if he converted them, Gershen is Gayer, Kikatan Shano Adami. So now that they're both converted, they're not related anymore. Right? We know that you can marry a convert. Even a father and daughter that convert, a father can marry his daughter Midairaisa. A guy who converts with their daughter, with their mother, with their sister, Midairaisa, can marry them.
But
Why?
You just said Goyim also are
Yeah. That's while they're Goyim, but once they convert, they're not related anymore.
They're born again.
They're born again. So the answer says the Yefei Tayar and the Marsha. Yeah, by the way, I think the Gur Aryeh says the same answer. That how could Yaakov marry two sisters?
They're not sisters anymore.
He converted them. They're not sisters anymore. Comes the Parshas Drachim. And the Parshas Drachim asks the famous question. That we know, on some level, the Avos were like Jews. But...
Like Jews?
Yeah. But they were only Jewish l'chumra and not l'kula. In other words, they were only Jewish if being Jewish gave them stringent practices. But if being Jewish was a leniency, they didn't consider themselves Jewish for that. So, says the Parshas Drachim, how could Yaakov marry two sisters? So what do you want to say? He was a Yid, and he converted them to what religion? Judaism? But they're only considered Jewish if it's a chumrah. But if now being Jewish is going to make it a kula, they didn't take it that far. So the question begs itself then, how could Yaakov marry two sisters? It's a kula converting them. It's a kula. So you have to answer.
Indirectly, not only one following.
You have to answer that maybe Yaakov Avinu held like a different opinion. That Goyim, there's no arayas by Goyim. Which opinion?
You just said ish.
The one opinion is Ishish. One opinion is Ishish. But that's not Rav Meir's opinion. Rav Meir argues on that. Rav Meir argues, and Rav Meir says that Goyim, all the arayas by Goyim don't apply. A Goy can marry his sister. The only arayas that applies by Goyim is you can't marry a married woman. But mother, daughter, two sisters, marrying your aunt, that's all fine. That's Rav Meir's opinion. Look at number 21. Kol erva shabezdin shal
You can marry your mother if your father passes away.
Yeah, right. By a Goy. By a Goy. Kol erva, according to Rav Meir. Okay, now listen to this.
That's why we call him Acheirim.
Look. Kol erva shabezdin shal Yisrael memisin aleha. Any erva that Bezdin will kill you for, by the way, there's only one erva that Bezdin will kill you for. Eish asish. Ben Noach muzar aleha. Ben Noach has to refrain from. Ein Bezdin shal Yisrael memisin aleha. But if Bezdin doesn't kill you, ein Ben Noach muzar aleha. Divrei Rav Meir.
So Rav Meir would hold that these laws allowing same-sex marriages.
No.
Because he says the Goyim are forbidden to marry the same.
No, because there it's different. That's a Tayeva. The Chachamim Oimrim, Harbe Arayos She'ein Bezdin Shel Yisrael Memisin Alein Uben Noach. The Chachamim say no. Ish says Goyim are Metzuva and all Arayos. So let's just get the Cheshbon clear. You ready for this? So Yaakov Avinu, how could he marry two sisters? You can't say he converted them. Why? Because that would be taking it Lakula. So it must be Yaakov Avinu held like who? Rav Meir. Does Rav Meir darshan ish? No. So Yaakov Avinu is very much in need of Rav Meir. Yaakov Avinu very much needs Rav Meir.
No, but he already married two sisters.
One second.
Anymore.
Now, what's the machloikis based on? What's the machloikis based on? If you darshan ish or you don't darshan ish. It's based on the following concept. Do you darshan double languages? Ish, aser ta'aser, vehaftei niftasa. Do we say, Dibra Torah Koloshin b'nei Adam? The Torah speaks like people, and people repeat themselves, so the Torah speaks that way. That's how Rav Meir holds. Rav Meir doesn't darshan ishish. Rav Meir says, Dibra Torah Koloshin b'nei Adam, and we don't make a big spiel out of the ishish.
You have all in the Gemara today.
But that's something else. That's Gzera Shava. That's not Rabbi. We had a double lashon elsewhere. We had ish ish where Rabbi. Okay, we'll get to it. But the Chachamim say ish ish loy dibra Torah kol Hashem le'adam. Ask Tosfos. Look at number 24. Look at number 24. This Gemara implies that Rav Meir, does he darshan ish ish or does he not darshan ish ish? He doesn't darshan ish ish. Right. But the Gemara earlier by Birchas Hashem, it says Rav Meir darshans ish ish. Says Tosfos, Rav Meir on Daf Nun Zayin Amud Beis that doesn't darshan ish ish. That he's saying his Rebbe's opinion, Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva does not darshan ish ish. But Rav Meir personally does darshan ish ish. And Rav Meir holds that are you allowed to marry two sisters? No! Rav Meir holds you're not allowed to marry two sisters.
What happened here with
1 second. So in other words, Rav Meir says a goyim are allowed to live with arayas. That's Rabbi Akiva's shita. He's saying Rabbi Akiva's opinion. By Rav Meir earlier darshan ish ish, that's his own opinion. And we find throughout Shas, look in Gemara and Rosh Hashanah, Aser to Aser, Rav Meir's personal opinion is we darshan double lashon. In other words, loy dibra Torah kilashan b'nei adam. We find in countless Gemaras in Rosh Hashanah Ches Amud Beis, or in Bracha Islam and Aleph Amud Beis, look number 26, in Yevamis Ayin Aleph, in Ksubas Samach Zayin, Rav Meir does not. Rav Meir darshans double lashon. Rav Meir says, loy dibra Torah k'lashon adam. Rav Meir in Nun Zayin Amud Beis in Sanhedrin says, you can live with sisters. That's not his opinion. That's Rabbi Akiva's opinion.
It says divrei Rav Meir. It doesn't say divrei Rabbi Akiva.
Tosfos says that statement of Meir, he wasn't saying his own opinion. Because we have countless other Gemaras and Shas where Rav Meir darshans ish ish and double lashon. Rav Meir's personal opinion is what? B'nai Noach are not allowed to live with arayas. He darshan. So now Yaakov Avinu is up the creek without a paddle. Because Rav Meir's opinion is what?
You can't do it.
That Rav Meir, you can't do it. Frak Tosfos. The Gemara in Krisa says, Acheirim oimrim. Acheirim say that what? We don't darshan double lashon. So it's a stira.
Right.
Because Acheirim is who? Rav Meir. And we just proved Rav Meir's personal opinion is Dibra Torah Koloshin Bnei Adam. And we just proved Rav Meir's opinion is what? We darshan because Loi Dibra Torah Koloshin Bnei Adam. And here in Krisos, Acheirim are saying we don't darshan the double lashon. Why? Because Dibra Torah Koloshin Bnei Adam. Says a Malei Haroyim from Chelek Beis, on his entry on the words Erech Dibra Torah Koloshin Bnei Adam. This, by the way, this question I'm asking you is Tosfos' question, and the question is again: Rav Meir throughout Shas darshans the double lashon. He holds arayas are aser, aser ta'aser, behefta niftasa. He holds loy dibra Torah Koloshin Bnei Adam. And in Krisos he says, no, we don't make a big deal about the double lashon. Says the Malei Haroim, the following chiddush. You ready? Look on the fourth line. In number 28. V'tiretz harash mikinon. Debesoif yamav, at the end of Rav Meir's life, kishakaru Acheirim, when he was given the title Acheirim, chazar boy me'aser ta'aser, he changed his mind. His whole life, he darshan double lashon. Aser ta'aser, ish ish. He held B'nai Noach are now to marry arayas. But when Rav Meir later became Acheirim, he held, we don't make a big deal about the double lashon. And what? B'nai Noach are allowed to live with arayas.
Why?
Why? Because Dibra Torah Koloshin Bnei Adam.
Why did he change his mind?
Oh, we don't know why he changed his mind. We don't know why. He was chayzer. So it comes out that if you ask, what's Rav Meir's opinion? Did Yaakov Avinu do the right thing or did he do the wrong thing?
Wrong.
Depends when. Rav Meir, before he was called Acheirim, held Yaakov Avinu did the wrong thing. He made a big deal about the ish ish. But later on, when he became Acheirim, he's okay. So when Yaakov is afraid of killing Esau because he's afraid of killing Rav Meir, which part of Rav Meir? Which title of Rav Meir? When Rav Meir is called Acheirim. That's why Rashi says, you know what he was afraid of? Im Yeharek hu es Acheirim, not Rav Meir. Rav Meir, Yaakov Avinu may have been happy to get rid of. Chas v'shalom. He was afraid of getting rid of the Acheirim, Rav Meir's opinion when he was chayzer, that what? That he didn't darshan the Ishish. This is a suggestion of the Shvilei Pinchas. We could just add on, anyone heard Monday's shir, that why is Yaakov afraid of killing Acheirim? Does anybody know, do we paskin like Rav Meir?
Most of the time not.
We don't paskin like Meir. Because nobody understands him. He's too esoteric. No, everybody knows there's nobody in the generation like Rav Meir. We don't paskin like Rav Meir. There's only one exception that I know of. And maybe we'll talk about it a different time. We don't paskin like Rav Meir. But there's one person that we always paskin like. And who is that? Rabbi Akiva. Halacha to Rabbi Akiva. Mechaveroi. Mechaverov v'kosher mechaver. We paskin like Rabbi Akiva. What does Rabbi Akiva say about this issue about Yaakov Avinu marrying two sisters? Right thing or wrong thing?
No.
He darshans Ishish, no?
Rabbi Akiva does not darshan Ishish. Because Tosfos said when Reb Meir said you could live with Arayas, that was Reb Meir in the name of Rabbi Akiva. So, very nice. Yaakov Avinu says like this: Baruch Hashem, I didn't have to kill Esav, and Reb Meir is able to come to this world, and the Acheirim are able to come to this world, and I did the right thing. But we don't pass him like Acheirim. I need at least one more Tana to come support the Acheirim, Reb Meir, so that we're going to pass him like him. Who's that? Rabbi Akiva. So Rebbeinu Shalom says, Yaakov, you have one more job. You know what your job is? I'll tell you what your job is. The Rebbeinu Shalom says to Yaakov Avinu, he says, Kum alei beisel. Yaakov, kum alei beisel is Seifei Tevois. Akiva, go save Rabbi Akiva. Where is Rabbi Akiva? Says Rabbi Shimshon Meir Shapali, Rabbi Akiva was in Shechem and Chamor. That's why Rabbi Akiva says, when I was in Amoritz, I would bite a Tamacham like a Chamor. And that's why Rabbi Akiva died saying Echad. Why? Because Chamor said he loves Dina three ways. Ahava, Chafitza, Devekos, Echad. So Rabbi Akiva is trapped in Shechem. So Yaakov Avinu says, Baruch Hashem, I didn't have to kill the Acheirim. But I need one Tana to support the Acheirim, otherwise we're not going to pass like them. So after Yaakov Avinu, Baruch Hashem, was able to spear Reb Meir, he has one more job. He goes, he gets Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva doesn't darshan the Ishish. He supports the opinion of the Acheirim.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.